JJ, you're an awesome speaker. You came out here, great body language, great confidence, great tone, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to hear that crap. You want to hear, how do I make this speech better? So I'm going to give you a couple tips for how to make this good speech even better. I want to split it up into two sections, performance and preparation. So performance, there are a couple of things that you could have done to improve the quality of the speech. The first thing that you did when you came out here was you opened with a question. How many of you have had an idea? How many of you wanted to do this? How many of you have seen something in the industry? You kind of cut yourself off by asking the same question in parallel form a couple of different times, like I just did. It would have been more effective if you had just come out and said, how many of you have had an idea that has really inspired you to do something to change your life? And then just let that sit for like 10 seconds, and then people will actually think, they'll have time to think about how it applies to their own life. And that'll help you connect with them. The second thing in terms of performance was that you were kind of monotone throughout the speech. Just in terms of, I've seen you speak and the range that you have, and you didn't really utilize all of it. So I think what you could have done was get a little bit more excited. When you said, I had this opportunity and it terrified me, just go into that for another sentence. My friend said this, I thought, wow, I could do this with my life and it would change my life forever. I could be doing, 5 years from now, I could be living the life that I really want to live, and connect with the audience on that emotional level. You did a great job of informing everybody, but you didn't really connect with me on that emotional level, and if you don't connect with people on that level, you're not going to motivate them, you're not going to call them to action. And what you wanted to do, what you told me you wanted to do in the speech was call them to prepare themselves for these kinds of opportunities in their life. Second, I wanted to talk about your preparation for the speech. I thought there were a couple ways you could have restructured it so that it would have been better. First and foremost, you kind of listed out the ways that the common traits of entrepreneurs, which was okay, but I think what would have been better is if you listed out the ways that you can prepare and practice to be an entrepreneur. Because you listed those things, but they were kind of all over the place. They weren't in the same structural spot, and so it's hard for me to know what you meant. At the end of the speech, you closed with, prepare, practice, and then you'll be able to find your opportunity. But how do I prepare? How do I practice? If you would have just said, get your CL, join a nonprofit, raise money, and said all those things kind of in fast repetition, that would have been great. And then the last thing is close harder. Tie all that stuff together in your closing and say, this is what I did. I got my CL, I raised money for a nonprofit, and now it's going to change my life forever. Hit that emotional note again, and then say, do that, prepare, and then when your opportunity comes, you'll be ready for it. Anyway, that's how you could have taken that speech, which was already, fantastic, and made it just a little bit better. Thanks, JJ.